Tires, tires. I just discovered something interesting. YouTube sent me a link to a video saying you might want to know what the red and yellow dots on your tires meant. So I said, maybe I should check the balance on these new tires that I just got shipped from Discount Tire Direct. And the reason I was thinking about it is because look at all the weights on this brand new made in Korea tire. It's got 2 full strips on the, we'll call it the outside of the rim, but inside, and 1 full strip over there. So I popped it on my Harbor Freight $80 tire balancer, which I've had for 20-something years, and I forgot, now I remember, that because this cone is only made for small hubs, what I used to do is take a screwdriver and move the hub around this cone and take a feeler gauge and waste a couple minutes, but it's really hard to do on this alloy one. But what I did is the opposite. I moved the rim around the cone until the bubble was right in the middle, which means that this tire is balanced on the machine, but it doesn't look like it's centered on that flange that drops below the cone. It's unscientific as it gets, but it looks like I have 1/8 of an inch more on this side, or 1/16. It's hard to tell, but to my eye, this gap looks way... Let me get a screwdriver. I know this is about as unscientific as it gets, but when I saw this tire with all these weights, I got really suspicious. So, let me see what I can do to show you what's cooking. Let's see, what do we got here? We've got a blade's width. It's hard to see with one camera angle, but there's a blade's width, a fraction more than a blade's width on this side. And on that side, I've got 2 blades width. So I know what you're thinking. And my next thought is, who runs a CNC machine that can make me a ring that will adapt my hub to this cone? Because what usually happens is, I don't even think it'll work here, because this cone isn't wide enough. I don't think it can work. I've dropped down below the cone. I wonder if Harbor Freight sells an 8-lug, 3/4 ton giant hub cone adapter, because I'm past where the cone is conically shaped. I'm at the area where it's a perfect circle. But this tire is not properly balanced. Look at that. You can see that perfectly. There's room for 2 blades here. 1 blade, 2 blade. And on this side, I'll move this camera around until we get what we want. You know, men, they always want to get what they want. It's actually focusing pretty well. I just got to fight with the angle. But there is definitely not 2 blades here. Getting back to these dots, there's only 2 videos and I watched them both. And one guy says, they don't really matter because you're going to balance the tire anyways. He was a guy at .com.au. He says, the red dot's the light dot, the yellow dot's the heavy dot. Well, I think it's backwards. I think the yellow is the light one and the red is missing. There's a quality control. What do they call that? Stamp? I don't know what it means, but where's the red dot? Oh, wait a minute. Look at that. There's the red dot. So I only saw 2 videos, and I scrolled through about 20 or so videos, and there's guys babbling away endlessly. But I want to know what these mean. Is there a better video? And if this is the lightest spot, I guess the weights do belong there because you want to make it heavier. I've read somewhere that there's shops that will buff the tire slightly to balance the tire and bring it into a better balance than when it pops out of the tire machine. Changing the subject, I had Discount Tire put on steel valves, and they put nice short ones on that just stick up high enough. I like that. Probably made in China, but I don't want those stinking rubber ones with that crappy rubber compound that falls apart after a year. So that's my issue. I'm going to go get the other tires. Frickin', these things are heavy. I'm going to pop the spine right out of my back. Those are heavy load range E's on big wheels. Big wheels keep on turning. Proud Mary keeps on burning. What a shame that I got to put them on the vehicle and get them dirty. I'm not going to drive this thing in the winter, that's for sure. So there's my issue. That is perfectly balanced, and I know this balancer is accurate because unscientifically, half the tires I mount on this machine, half of them are perfectly balanced, and the other half aren't. So if they're balanced on some fancy $10,000 machine by a $10 an hour guy, and half of them come out balanced on my little bubble balancer, I'm pretty sure that means pretty sure. Where did that expression come from? Pretty sure. Pretty ugly, pretty sure, pretty fast. So modifier, I suppose. I'm pretty sure that my bubble balancer is accurate. And I've also put tires on it, and I've driven vehicles at 80, 90, 100 miles an hour, except for my Grand Prix, which has got this endless vibration. I don't know where it comes from. Speaking of Grand Prix, 8 lug wheels. Had these since I was 19 years old. That's a long time ago. Got them off a Grand Prix in North Carolina that a guy was scrapping. 66 maybe, 65, who knows. But I'm pretty sure that this bubble balancer is accurate because, like I said, half the tires, I'm just speculating, a lot of the tires that I take off of vehicles, I just check them, I'm curious, before I throw them in the garbage or just check the balance, and half of them come out right on the money on my machine, and the other half are way off. So I'm betting the ones that are way off either chucked a weight or they weren't balanced properly from whatever place they were purchased at, either recently or a long time ago. When I get back from my trips, I usually put tires on the vehicles, and I check them when I get back here. And I've had some where they've got 5 or 6 weights here, 2 weights there, a weight on the other side over there. That ain't right. All the weights need to be on one side of the wheel, equally distributed between the inside of the rim and the outside of the rim. But there's too many weights on this wheel, and I don't like the fact that when I got my bubble balancer right in the middle, and Discount Tire Direct's going to get an email notification from me that I checked this, and they're going to say, well, you need to get the right equipment, buddy. You don't always need a $10,000 or a $100,000 machine. There's also something called Road Force, which Hunter makes some machine. I watched a video on that. But I'm going to check the other wheels, and we're going to see what we got here, because I'm not happy with this. I bet you there's something wrong. I'm not a gambler, but I get my bubble right in the middle, and I zeroed this thing. It's really hard to do. I zeroed it before I stuck it on. When that bubble is right in the middle, and I've got 2 blades there and 1 blade there, I'm going to have a new channel called 2 Blades, 1 Blade. All right, Discount Tire, let's hear your explanation with your fancy machine. It may not vibrate. I've had tires that are off by a bit and they don't vibrate, but it should be right on the money, dead nuts on, because I paid for it. And I don't get any lifetime balance like you do at Sam's Club, but they won't put oversized tires on your vehicle. It's dead stock size or out the door you go. So there's a lot of questions. Red dot, yellow dot, does Harbor Freight make a 3/4 ton large hub machine? Or is there something I can put on here that maybe lifts this up a 1/2 inch and that fits onto this cone? Somebody may need to go buy one of these that runs a CNC machine and make an adapter, or maybe somebody's already made one. It would be nice if I could plop these on and balance my tires properly on my $80 Harbor Freight bubble balancer.